Welcome, welcome, my friend. Hey everybody, JewWario here. I'm looking through the two parts of the Famicom and Writer show, the Death of the Warion, and I thought I'd make a commentary for this. Hope you all enjoy this. It's actually a bowling shirt that I've owned for about a year now. I chose to call it the Death of the Warion instead of the Famicom and Writer because I didn't want to spoil everything. I know that I had gotten into the Kamen Rider just recently, and as a lot of people on the site do, we take one of our passions and we put it into the show, especially if it's a new passion. Sometimes it's a Doctor Who thing, sometimes it's a Pokemon thing, sometimes it's a Kamen Rider thing. I had actually gotten the belt from a person on Henshin Justice, and the Henshin Justice website, and it worked very well. But we used it for the fight scenes, and which is coming up here in a second, and it kind of got a little bunged up. I know that's going to hurt a lot of people's, some of you Kamen Rider fans out there. Oh, how can you use the toy like that? It's so bad. But hey. The idea for the show was actually going to be a three-parter, and I actually condensed it because I just thought it was too wordy, it wasn't going anywhere, so I actually condensed it for storyline. And come to find out from a couple of fans that I should have maybe kept it. Mark's Psychotaku's voice. All the special effects were done by Matt Burkett, Apollo Z Hack, and I'm actually very pleased with how they came out. And yes, this is supposed to be hokey sound effects. We actually had a big part of the second part of the show being about this particular belt, where I try in different types of where I put in different types of memories and stuff, and see what they work as. That whining up there is my Pomeranian kitty. Upset that I'm down here. These guys are really great. I was actually going to have these fight scenes be very, very basic, but in fact really hokey as well. But my friend Razma said, I work with this guy who does tricking. And I was like, what the heck is tricking? I don't know what that is. He showed me a couple of things. I was like, okay, it's guys trying to be cool, flipping around, whatever. And then I talked to, David, who's the, I guess the quote-unquote non-definitive leader of this group. And, he's, I said, hey, I'm looking for 2 fight scenes, one lasting about maybe 2 minutes and the other one lasting about a minute. And he said, sure, we can make it, and that'd be no problem. And this is what they came up with. Those flips, the first 2 guys who flipped in to that last scene, they were flipping in on dirt. And so their feet kept on slipping. Each one of them did those flips easily, maybe 10 times each, and kept on landing on their butts and their backs. And they kept on getting up. I mean, they put some pro wrestlers to shame. These guys worked so hard, took a bunch of bumps, and just were absolute troopers. So my many thanks go out to these guys for working so freaking hard. God, they worked so hard, and nice guys. I mean, just absolute nice guys. Nicest guys you can meet. Yeah, Calvin, David, Edward, and John. They're so great. Now this scene, I had been planning for this for several months, and And this is actually part of the Famicom, of the Kamen Rider episode that I did for You Can Play This a long time ago. That's how long I've been planning this, and before then even. So I knew exactly what I wanted to do. This is all translated by Kazukawa's wife, who did an amazing job. She did a great job. I sent her a script, and I said, please make this sound official, as if an official person in Japan were writing to someone, and she did an amazing job. The voiceover is done by Nikujaga. Now, some of you may not know who Nikujaga is. Nikujaga does... he had sent me... He had put my videos up on Nico Nico Doga, which is a website that is very much like a YouTube in Japan. More like Blip, I would say. It's the popular website, so it's more like YouTube, but it's better quality, I almost think. You can also put comments on there, and they scroll by in the window as you're watching the video, so it can be fun like that. But anyways, he'd translate That Guy with the Glasses videos with Japanese subtitles, and he actually put them up, and somebody linked me to one. He and I became friends, and he started translating a lot of my videos online and putting them up on Nico Nico. So anytime you see a video of mine that has Japanese subtitles, although I do have another guy who's going to be doing that soon here as well, it's most likely Nikujaga. So, and a very nice guy. I sent him that, and I asked him to do the voiceover, and he did it, and he was, he did a great job. He also sings the final. He also sings the final song, the one done by Skitch at the very end of my Famicom Rider reviews. Not in this video, but in others.
Thank you for calling the Nintendo Help.
And this is Caitlin Canito, who's helped me out with several videos before. Much love to her. 121920008. Which is the date of my first video going up, December 19th, 2008.
We cannot service it over the phone, but we will send one of our specialized technicians out to you shortly.
How shortly is that going to be? Boy, Nintendo has a really quick turnaround, don't they?
Hello, sir or madam. I understand your Nintendo
my good friend up in Denver, Jason Bowen, sent Sean down to Colorado to kind of cheer him up because he was having a bad time. And in October, we filmed this. And Sean actually even helped me film that first fight scene. And so he came up with a lot of the script here. And we went over it.
So I know that I know you, but I've got to be professional.
And yeah, once again, Sean and me kind of like the Laurel and Hardy of Tig. I've had a lot of people actually tell me that they've paused that video at that point to look at the things that I put in. I actually wasn't planning on. I was planning on making it look official, but then I was like, nah, I'm gonna make it look fun, So it's kind of funny how that works. And Sean actually, little behind the scenes here. Sean actually gave me that Decade driver, so that I can use it for a future video of some sort. I've got plans of what I want to do, but the question is whether or not people will watch it. I would actually really like to do more Kamen Rider-ish type of videos without any movie review or video game review or movie reviews, because he's going to be doing movie reviews as well. And so it's actually kind of interesting to me, just to do one-offs and two-parters, small little, mini movies, I guess, I'm not sure. What would you guys think about that if I started making a couple of, you know, just maybe even 5-6 minute videos that are just, that don't have anything to do with movies, movie reviews or video game reviews? Let me know. Shoot me an email over at JewWario@live.com. Yeah, this was a whole thing, and I was actually going to even do a review in this one. So these two are actually the first videos that I've done that don't have any reviews in them. So and people like Ed Glazer, like Matt Burkett, they actually have asked me, what do you think about not doing videos with reviews in them? What do you think about doing videos, you know, like that? I know a lot of people were wondering what the heck was being shown there, and so now you know, Yankee J was getting beaten up. That was a very careful shoot I had to do. That knife actually is in my gut. Not in my gut, like past the skin, but I actually had to suck in my stomach, which is kind of hard with my stomach being as big as it is. So that's not cut together. That's an actual. It's had Razma taken 1/2 of an inch forward, I would have been stabbed. The only sad thing for this part is that I did not cry, and I actually wanted to tear up. I shot that thing several times, and I still couldn't get it.
And this is also the story of how I came back to life.
And this is also the story of how I For that shot to make it look like I was really panting, I actually exhaled all the air out of my out of my lungs, and held it for about 10, 15, 20 seconds, and then came up so that I could look like I'm, you know, sucking in air. The part where it kind of fades in, like my vision is blurry, and then it comes in, I just put the camera on autofocus and then got really close and then pulled away, and it just, you know, kind of faded in and you know, went into focus. I didn't think that I would like how this scene came out, but you know, it came out pretty well. It was tough to write a script where I'm paying attention to 3 different people at the same time. And this joke I can't take credit for. I actually forget, and I'm sorry, but I forget who said Negadub, and it just fit. Because I said, you know, Negadub, and I was like, you know, but I want somebody to laugh about it, and that person told me, oh yeah, it sounds like Negaduck. And I was like, oh, that's perfect, oh, I'm going to have to take that. So it might have been Mark. It might have been Psychotaku who came up with that. The makeup for Yankee J's bruises are actually from Jenny Blue, Jenny, a.k.a. Jenny Valentine. And she did a really good job. I actually didn't think that she would be able to do it. She went out and got some makeup and said, and it was just a green, red, blue, yellow palette. And she asked me, you know, well, you know, what do you think, you know, I can do it? And I was like, I looked at it and was like, you can't do it. She did it. She did an amazing job. It looked really, really good. And this was actually also going to be a real review. I was going to do a real review on Disgaea 4, which I will actually do probably in March. And that'll be a Yankee J review. So we'll see how that works. I was thinking about actually playing this backwards, the music for You Can Play This Backwards, but I don't know. I think it makes a little bit better sense that he's anticipating that people are going to be wanting to watch You Can Play This. To give him energy. The problem on some of this that still kind of bugs me, and now that I'm going to mention it, it's going to bug you, is that the camera gets out of focus a little bit. I don't like to record things on autofocus. I like to focus in on things and then just keep it manual focus. But I had actually forgotten to take it off of the autofocus when I did that very first shot, which is also why I mentioned that I had it on autofocus. And it always bugs me, like, when the nostalgia critic gets up and walks away, his camera goes out of focus. Same thing with Linkara. But for them, when they're showing things up close, because they'll sometimes show the item, yeah, right there, that just bugs me. Still bugs me to this day. You know, it's fine. I mean, you don't usually notice it, but I usually keep it on manual focus.
Because you need to establish a rapport with people. You can't just show up out of nowhere and expect this huge rush of energy. But if it were me, and I had been the one that people were watching, I'd have
Dramatic acting.
kick your sorry. It's because you suck at this. You really are the opposite of Justin.
And I actually wasn't feeling very well when I was recording Yankee J, so whenever I landed on my back, it actually kind of did knock the wind out of me, because I actually kind of threw myself onto the floor when he throws Yankee J to make it look and sound authentic. So, yeah. What I do for my craft. A lot of people really like Nega. Well, once again, you know, see, in and out of focus, that bugs me.
Hey Justin, you got a package.
Hiya, Jenny Blue.
I'll take that.
Whatever. Look, just
Now I say, wow, she's really naive here, but I say that because there's 3 of me, and she doesn't get it. That's the joke.
Catch.
JewWario, I found the first.
I suck at green screen. Let's just say that. I just suck at green screen.
Uses an unlimited internal power source.
And special effects. That should have been better. Once again, Nikujaga.
Henshin.
And I always like the idea of being able to blow into the thing to have it going. Now the phone's going. We'll let it ring. They'll call back, right?
What the?
Now this is a place here in Colorado Springs where the guys do tricking. It was snowing and very, very cold when we recorded the final fight scene, so I couldn't film it outside, and I didn't want those guys to suffer, because they were already suffering from the bumps and bruises and the mistakes they were making, so I didn't want them to have to do anything. So I rewrote it so that we filmed it inside, like, you know, Kamen Rider always grabs somebody and jumps to some place, and that's the joke here. You know, where'd you bring me? Kamen Rider powers allow somebody to transport to other places. That Delma dude's a Kamen Rider. That guy right there is the guy who's in the Kamen Rider suit doing this. David Kearney. He did such a good job as the Kamen Rider, both 1 and 2. And the shorter guy to the side there is Calvin, and he plays Nega. He's playing the Nega there. Once again, sound effects, special effects and music all chosen by Apollo Z Hack, so many, many thanks to my good friend Apollo Z, who just did an amazing job on this. You know, so Matt, thank you so much. This was epic. I actually showed this part to several people on Tig before it came out, and they were all excited about it. So
That has made you much more powerful, but I can still beat you. You've lost your Warion powers. You have nobody to call upon. You're all alone.
Funny.
And once again, this was going to be a big build-up. This was going to last about 20 minutes. It was going to be a big thing. But I decided to just shut it down to this length because it fit better. And there was actually even going to be a 70s retro rider that I was going to do. and that was going to be the first rider outfit. There was a whole thing in there, but I edited the script because I just felt it flowed better this way. So, little decayed action here, growing through the riders that pop out, gaining their power. The sparks off the hat.
Come on, J-Dub. I mean, come on, Ryder. Let's go home.
Now, a lot of people actually even wondered if I was going to keep that and just do the rider and change, you know, JewWario, J-Dub over to the Famicom rider, and no, it was just going to be for that. He's just going to be another character of mine. But I really want to work on this and try and make this good. So he'll be a way for me to do movie reviews, which is what I would like to also do besides the video game reviews. I'm still going to do video game reviews, and I'm still going to do them through J-Dub and Yankee J and the Famicom Rider, but Famicom Rider is also going to allow me to do movies. And hopefully pull out some stuff. There's a long list of credits here. I want to thank everybody who helped me out, who gave me advice, who gave me suggestions, and I want to thank you all for helping me do this for 3 years. I couldn't be happier doing this for my job, or one of my jobs, and I just hope that I gain even more success, and it's going to be all through you guys. So thank you all so very much for enjoying this. Thank you so much for watching JewWario, J-Dub, and the Famicom Rider. Keep on watching, and we'll see you next time.